Live from the City of Angels here on Sunday morning. You're watching Breaking Box Office, which means we are getting right to the numbers, and we are already at $800 million for Deadpool Wolverine. This thing is soaring quickly. We talked about how audiences love this film, and this is proving to be truth in the numbers, because you don't have a hold of minus 54 in the second weekend without the audience really digging this thing. Remember, when I came out of that screening on that Monday before it opened, I told you guys audiences are going to go wild. They're going to absolutely adore this film, and bang, Weber's right again. 800 million worldwide. Let's talk about the domestic and the international. All of the bullet points here on Breaking Box Office. Welcome to MMT in the morning. If you've never been here, thanks for being here. If you've not gone to YouTube, like, subscribe, do that there. Midnight Movie Talk is the channel. Let's go globally first. After 2 weekends, Deadpool Wolverine has grossed estimated $824.1 million. That is 395.6 domestic, 428.5 international. The number one non-local movie in all global markets except Japan in its second weekend. Second weekend saw Deadpool Wolverine post an impressive $207.5 million second weekend. Crazy, right? With good holds, as I mentioned, stateside that hold very strong compared to go back to a Thor Love and Thunder, minus 68%. This is minus 54. And also important to note, that when we're talking about a drop of a film that already opened at 200 plus million, then that tells you that we're really flying. And that's why we're going to hit $1 billion. I told everybody, how long ago, guys, those of you who are longtime MMTers, how long ago did I tell you guys this film would hit $1 billion? And everyone, well, the other two didn't hit $1 billion. Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2, they were in the 700 millions. I said, you don't have Wolverine in those films. Do you understand? This is a mini Avengers. Hell, this is an Avengers at this point, given all the cameos and the steroid injection of Hugh Jackman. These things are the reason why you got to understand this shit. Nobody understands it like we do. That's why we bury everybody, but it's all good. Let's keep going. Already the second highest global release to date behind Inside Out 2. That means Disney, by the way, have the top 2 movies of 2024 so far. And don't forget, if you go woke, you go broke. So there's that issue, but here it didn't really, play out that way. But these films aren't woke, Weber. That's why it's not. Only in certain circumstances does go woke, go broke apply. Domestic, the number one movie for the second straight weekend, obviously at 97 million. 8th highest second weekend of all time, estimated 97 million, 5th highest second weekend of the MCU. Deadpool Wolverine now stands as the highest grossing R-rated film of all time, surpassing Passion of the Christ at 371 million. Deadpool Wolverine already surpassed domestic cume of Deadpool 2, Deadpool 1, we know that. Second highest domestic MPA release of 2024 to date behind Inside Out 2, meaning Walt Disney has, again, the top 2 movies of the year stateside as well. So this film is killing it. Guys, this is a really strong second weekend hold of minus 54. And we call this, guys, listen, this is why you watch. This is why you tune in to MMT, because we are so far ahead of everybody else. That's what we do. We call these things early, and we're not biased. We're objective. These other people are like, well, I don't know. It's Disney. It's MCU. It's in a funk. We saw the Marvels at 200 million. This film will never get to $1 billion. This is why we do what we do, and we beat everybody else. Let's also talk about Inside Out 2. Since we're on the same email, let's just stay with Disney, because I believe we have it right here. Globally, after 8 weekends, Inside Out 2 crossed 1.555 billion. So that is to 626.9 domestic, 928.2 international. Number one animated film all time globally, and the number 10 industry film all time globally. So Inside Out 2 continues to just slay. And I think it's also indicative of the kids obviously still out of school, and you're going to get these numbers that stay strong. It's over 6 million here this weekend. Despicable Me 4 is under Inside Out 2. I think when you look at Despicable Me 4, and we'll talk about that here in a minute, you're looking at a film that really was hurt by Inside Out 2. Also, diminishing returns. We've done too many Minions, too many Gru, too many of all of that, and people just go, okay, I need a break. Inside Out 2, we have to go back to 2015. So you're talking about 9 years. Anytime you give people, the audience, you give them a refractory period, right? Extensive refractory period, such as Deadpool, 6 years. When you give them that, then that means you're going to get more anticipation for the next film. And when it delivers, like Deadpool Wolverine, like most people seem to agree with Inside Out 2, not as good as the first, but still strong, then you're going to end up with the numbers we're at. These two films are killing it. $3 billion worldwide for Disney this year alone, which is really something else. Let's look at Trap, because the film did not do well. And you're going to hear people trying to spin this. There's no spinning, guys. This is a bad number. $15.6 million for a horror film in August, when you're looking at a property in M. Night Shyamalan, a director who has a track record. Certainly recently, he's had some issues with Old and Knock at the Cabin, both of those right around this number. But remember, here's the thing, is that when you're talking about a film coming into the marketplace with no head-to-head competition in the horror, because we've seen a lot of films in the horror marketplace that have to go up against another one, or there was just recently, days ago, another horror film. There hasn't been anything. This thing has to be in the 20 millions. This is way under. This is a disappointment. Don't let anyone spin it. We're not doing it. And if they do it, call them out. This is not working at 15.6. Location average only 4,900 per. Top 10 locations. No, you guys like that. Warner Brothers, I love when they give us this, because for me, it's interesting. I want to know, where are these films succeeding? As you know, my home theater, AMC Burbank, number 1, no surprise. AMC Grove, here, LA, 2. AMC Century City, LA, 3. Alamo Drafthouse, Brooklyn, 4. Empire, New York, AMC 5, AMC Lincoln Square, New York City, 6, 7, AMC Americana brand, that is here in LA, right in Glendale, right down the street, AMC Universal, 8, 9, AMC 34th Street, New York City, and Cinemark West Plano, Dallas, number 10. Top DMAs, LA, New York, Dallas, Houston, Chicago, as you could probably guess, given our top 10 locations. But again, when you're looking at a film that didn't even get to 5,000 per screen, it is not working. I understand that he financed this. M. Night Shyamalan financed this movie, brought it to Warner Brothers, but the film's not great. Okay, go back and watch my reaction stream. This is not, especially that third act. Guys, I'm telling you, the more and the longer that we see M. Night Shyamalan in the space, the weaknesses are exposed big time as a writer. Okay, he came out with Sixth Sense, his best film, number 1. We had Signs, we have The Village, we have some really good, really strong classic films really early on in his filmography, and then it really falls apart on the back end. And we saw his daughter's film, The Watchers, that totally bombed for Warner Brothers. This is a stock that if you have some M. Night Shyamalan, you need to sell that tomorrow morning, because it is definitely going to be going down. I don't know if we're in the penny range, but we're definitely in the big-time trouble for M. Night Shyamalan, even if he finances his own film, and maybe even if it breaks even. He needs to do better. Okay, he needs to be a better writer. Get someone to help him write. This is not a great film. Let's go to Twisters, because this is a film. We talk about a third weekend hold that was strong. As I go to the top 10, I'll pull this thing in here, and then we'll talk about that. And then we'll also mention some other films that debuted this weekend, including Harold and the Purple Crayon. Just wait till you hear the number. But you look at Twisters, it's here at $195.6 million, which is really strong, right? Almost $200 million domestic. The problem with this film is, and Warner Brothers has not sent the email for its overseas yet, but it's not strong. Listen, whenever you're looking at the domestic and the overseas, you want those numbers to be very similar. You look at Deadpool Wolverine, go back to that email quickly, and let me pull up the one more time, domestic and international. You can see here, bang, 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 roll down, roll down, roll down. Here we go. We've got it at domestic, 400, 395.6, international Q 428. So that's, basically 1-to-1, right? A little more international, which makes sense. But in Twister's case, it's domestic 200 and then international like 70 million. So you see, there's your issue. You need to have that be at least close to the same number internationally, 200 and 180, but it's not. It's at 70. There's the issue here. It's what you get from us, from no one else. And they say, why is Twisters not doing as well as I maybe thought it would? And here's why. Let me talk about why this film is not doing the numbers that it really should. I think you've got a lot of Americana in this film, right? You've got a lot of the Oklahoma, the country music. Every single transition in Twisters is, here is another country music artist, and we'll transition in our Ford F-150s. Yeehaw. And that doesn't work overseas in Belgium. Okay, they're like, we don't listen to country music. I really don't have an interest. Not to mention, we don't have tornadoes here, right? I mean, is there any other country? There are other countries that get tornadoes. Don't listen. This is not the Science Channel, but I know this, that it's more about hurricanes over there. So they maybe should have just retitled this and lied. Just called it hurricanes and then pretended, where's the hurricane? Well, it's in there. It's similar. It's a wind whip up storm kind of thing. But you're looking at a film that's just not doing the numbers overseas, and that's the issue. Box office top 5. Let's do it. Deadpool Wolverine, number 1, $97 million. Number 2 is Twisters at 22.7. Trap, again, disappointing at 15.6. You need that thing in the mid-20s. Didn't happen. Despicable Me 4, $11.3 million, over $750 million worldwide. If you look at the bottom of the screen, I try to put the crawl in there that gives you all the numbers. If I don't get to it, you should see something about the film you're looking for there at the bottom. Inside Out 2, $6.7 million. Also this weekend, let me jump over to, if I have it, I believe I have the A24 email. We've got Sing Sing, a film I saw last night. I'm going to talk about another disappointing film, guys. This is, wow, you talk about a film that from a directorial standpoint is really off in its calibration. This is Sing Sing. This is a director who decided to put everything he shot in the film, even though it clocks in at 147. Listen, here's the deal. This film's a lot better at 130. And the problem is, again, A24, a studio that has virtually no control of their directors. I mean, I'm talking zero. They just say, make the film you want. We're not going to even give you notes. We're not going to even come in here and say you need to get rid of this and this. This film has so much in it that can be compacted, and it was a better film if you do that. But again, A24, you are losing. You're losing all of the respect that certainly I have for your studio, because you have no one, and I mean nobody, in that office who has the fucking balls to tell these directors these films need to be pared down. You don't have anybody with artistic styling there who has the creative ability to go in with a director and tell them to get this thing tighter, to make it streamlined, they don't do that. In A24, get it together. Again, I don't care at this point. They don't invite me to any screenings. Not that I want to see them, because everything I've seen from A24 has been hella disappointing. Every single film. Civil War, one of the worst films of the year. I mean, God, guys, don't make me do it this morning. I'll talk about it tonight. Civil War is a disaster from a directorial standpoint, screenplay standpoint. It's a bad film. It's a bad film. And Sing Sing's very similar. Not as bad as Civil War. It's watchable because you've got Domingo in there, and then the supporting's very strong in this. But this is a film that is slowly being leaked out by A24. 18 screens this weekend. PSA of 9,600. That's okay. If you really want to see it higher, it's not a great film. That's what A24, they know it. A24 knows Sing Sing is definitely a weak film. Or let's just say this. The hype of Sing Sing does not match the actuality of Sing Sing. And they're aware of that. A24 knows that. That's why they are leaking this thing like 4 screens for 3 weeks. Now 18 screens. Then we'll go 40. Then we'll go 75, because once this gets out to the regular audience, they're going to be like, this isn't that great. And it's not going to play well. A prison set drama about creative enterprise inside the prison, right? They're making plays. They're doing thespian work inside of the prison. That's not going to work for a lot of people. Okay. So there we go. There's our box office wrap up here. A couple comments. If I have them, then I'm going to get out of here, because I am, again, going to the beach. It's beautiful. It's hot here. Oh, let's talk about Harold and the Purple Crayon, because Tom, I didn't mention that. Let's go back to the chart. Thank you. I didn't even bother. It's at the bottom, I think, of the crawl. It's not even, there it is. It's number 6. You guys see it? $6 million, 1,800 per. Zach Levi. Listen, this is a guy, I liked him in the Kurt Warner movie, but you're talking about a Zach Levi that is pretty much at the end of his road, right? As an actor. And every single movie, Zach's got to do the same goofy thing. You guys know, you've seen Shazam. You've seen the trailers for, I'm sure you didn't see the movie, Harold of the Purple Crayon. You know what he does. I just think that at this point, he's pretty much done. I mean, especially with another bomb like this, he's going to have to go make those faith-based movies. And there's nothing wrong. When I say that, everybody who's on the far right who watches, because we get a little bit of everybody here, as you should, because we're objective. That's not a slight, because I think there are some good faith-based films, not all of them by any means, but there are some that are better than others. And I think that's his career going forward. Maybe they can make a Kurt Warner story part 2 and follow him into the broadcast last injection. Wait, I'm sorry. I said injection because I'm reading the thing in the broadcast booth. Wait, who said that? I don't come back tonight. I don't even know what's going on in the comments here this morning, but we are going to be back tonight. Tonight's stream, by the way, is going to be wild. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to discuss the world going to hell in a handbasket and how it relates to movies. Okay, that's tonight on the MMT Sunday Evening Spectacular as we talk about the world devolving into quite literally Mad Max. I know that is not what you expect from a movie channel, but then again, that describes MMT to a T, does it not? I'll see you back here live from LA tonight, 9 o'clock or around there. Get your notifications. Peace out live from LA. See you tonight.